Hello and welcome. This is Varun, Technical Advisor, Design and Prototyping and Educational Consultant for Tutomash.com. In this session, we'll be discussing about WBlock and Tools Palette. WBlock is same as of a block which we use in AutoCAD, but the only difference in WBlock is that we can actually write the block, or we can say that we can permanently save the block which we have drawn. It is directly saving the selected objects and converts to a block into a separate specified drawing file. So when you go to the WBlock dialog box, you can see the options similar to the block definition dialog box. As usual, the source means which all objects you want to select to create as a WBlock. The next one is base point. Obviously, we have discussed what is a base point is. The next one is objects. What are the objects which you want to convert to a block? Then, this is the most critical and outstanding option which is available in WBlock. That is, you can give your destination where you want to save your block. So for example, you can create a folder in your PC saying tables so that you can save all the different types of table inside that folder as a WBlock. And you can call that WBlock as many as time in different drawings while working. So that means you don't have to use any ADC or Design Center to call your block. You can directly call WBlock to any of the drawing which you are working with. Now let's see these options in the software. Now, consider this as my object. I want to save this object as a block permanently so that I can use this in most of the drawings as many as times as I need. So, to save this object permanently, we will be using WBlock. The shortcut for WBlock is WB and press Enter. So now you can see the right block dialog box has been put up. The source is obviously the object. We are selecting from the object. Or you can select the entire drawing. From the entire drawing, you can select the object. Or if you have a predefined block, you can select from the block also. So here we will be going for the objects only because we are selecting from the objects. While this option is in object, we will specify the base point. As we have discussed, base point is really critical while you are inserting the object. So I will select the base point with the center point like this. So you can see automatically the coordinates has been picked by the software. Now the next option is to select the objects which you want to make it as a block. So I will go for this option and select my objects which I need like this and press enter to complete the selection. Obviously we have discussed all other options in our previous video which is same as of blocks. The next option here is known as quick selection. Quick selection enables you to select an object with certain parameters. Say if you want to select an object with color, you can select with color. Or if you want to select with the option called layers, you can select with layer. So for the time being, we will be selecting the default way of selection, that is the select object method, and proceed. And the last one in this dialog box is destination. Here, this option makes WBlock more precise. That means you can give a destination where you want to save this object or block as a drawing. So you can see the default path is in documents. I will change that from document to my desktop like this. And I will create a new folder and name it as blocks. Enter. I will press enter again to open the folder. I will create another folder called table so that I can save all the table blocks under this folder. Similarly, you can create all other categories of folders respectively. Now I will double click this one to open that folder and name it as round table like this and press save. As we have discussed, here also you can give the insertion unit according to the object you need and press OK to complete your command. Now that your block has been saved, you can actually insert the block. We know the shortcut for insert is I and press enter. This time we will go for the browse option. This browse option will help you to browse the blocks which are available in your PC or your computer. This time I will go for the desktop. In the blocks, I have the category table. And here I have the round table. And as you can see, the round table has been loaded as the name. Rest all remains the same and I will press OK and insert my block like this. So it is pretty interesting that you can insert the block in different drawings by browsing it, showing the path where you want and selecting the block and inserting like this. So this will help you to draw your drawings once and insert that as a block forever in your future drawings. So WBlock is really essential while designing. Tools palettes. Tools palettes are used to organize the tools that ranges from blocks to commands or to hatch patterns and will be displayed as a part of a window. This will help you to easily access the predefined tools or blocks and bring them over to your drawing. There are a lot of predefined blocks available in AutoCAD. This will help you to work easier and much more faster. Now let's see the tools palettes in AutoCAD. Now to access the tools palette, you can type tool palette and press enter to access the tool palette. But the more faster method to access tools palette is pressing Ctrl in your keyboard together with the numeric 3 so that the tool palette is open like this. As you can see here, there are a lot of tabs available in tool palettes. So that means in the modeling you have modeling tools available. In constraints, the constraints are also available like this. Similarly, annotation, you have annotation samples like this. You have architecture samples like these are blocks which you can access in your drawing. Say if you want an aluminum window, you can select that and insert in your drawing like this. So it will be inserted as a block like this. Now you can actually align this tool palettes so that it will be easy for you to access. Let me align it to my left side like this. So the tool palettes are aligned here. Now if you want to take some other blocks, say toilet, you can select the toilet and insert it like this. These are predefined blocks which are available in AutoCAD. This is not only a block, this is known as dynamic block. We will be discussing about dynamic blocks in our upcoming videos. Dynamic block means it can change its properties dynamically. Say if you want to change the length, you can change the length. See, it is changing dynamically with the standards like this. Or say if you want to change the view, you can select the visibility icon and change the different types of blocks attached to the same block. Say if you want round plan is available. Say if you want to change that round plan to say elongated plan is available. So like that you can make use of predefined dynamic block from your tools palette. You can also have vehicle which is available like this and insert it in your drawing. Now what if I have my own object to be inserted in my tool palette? It is also possible. So for that, let me create my own object. Say I will start with my layer. I will create two new layers like this. Give the name it as 1, another one it as 2. Now I will give different colors so that it will stay distinguished from each other like this and press OK. Now two different layers are created. Now I will make my layer 1 active layer from the option here and select this one to make it active. This time I will draw a line, say like this. I will draw another circle like this. Next I will make the next layer active, that is 2, and I will create another line like this, and I will create another line somewhere like this, and I will mirror the object by pressing mirror command, selecting the object like this, pressing enter, showing the mirror line like this, and click over, and without erasing the source object I will press enter so that both objects will be retained. Let me join the ends like this. And I will trim off, that is TR, enter and delete these two lines like this and delete the midpoint like this. Correct. And escape so that another object is being created. I will save this object as WBlock and press enter. This time I will go and pick the base point as this midpoint, then the object as the full object like this and press enter. And for the destination, this time I will change my destination to say a new folder called electrical like this, and I will open the folder and save this as receptacle and save it. Press OK to save my block. So now let me insert that block. From here I will go for browse and I will go for electrical and receptacle. Press OK to insert my block like this. Correct. Similarly, let me create another circle on the layer 2 like this. Right. Now let's insert these objects in my tools palette. Let me come to my tools palette like this. I will right click and go for the option called customize palettes so that I can customize it according to my own need. So I'll go for customize palettes and a customized dialog box will come up. There are different palettes available here. I will right click anywhere like this and go for new palette. This time I will give the name as TutoMesh Palettes and click it. Similarly, you can see here the palette groups available, that is in annotation and design there are different sections available. So like that, let me create my own groups so that it will be easy for us to identify which is our section. So I will right click here, go for new group. This time I will give it as TutoMesh group like this and press enter. Now I will drag and bring this TutoMesh palettes inside this TutoMesh group. Now you can see that we have TutoMesh palettes under the category TutoMesh group. I'll press close and now my palette is created. So in order to see the palette, let me come here and you can see the TutoMesh palette has been visible here. If it is not visible, don't worry, you can right click here, go for the option all palettes. Sometimes what happens is that defaultly some specified sections will be selected, making other section hidden. So if you want to see your own group or palette, you can come and select all palette, or you can select your own palette from here. So this time your all palette is selected, so TutoMesh palette is been visible now. Now as you can see, there is no objects available in the palette. So in order to add objects, you can come and select the object which you want to add. Selecting the object again, without taking the finger, drag the object and bring over to your palette like this. So now you can see the object line has been added to TutoMesh palette. Similarly, let me add the circle, selecting and dragging and putting over to my palette like this. So circle is also been added. Let me add the block also like this one, and I will select and drag my object and bring it over to my palette and drop it there. So now you can see it will be asking you to save the drawing before inserting this block to my palette. So for that, first let me save it, that is save as. I will go for desktop and save it in the desktop, and again I will drag my object like this and bring it to my palette and drop it there. So now you can see the receptacle, circle, lines all are been added. Let me create a new drawing. Now you can see the tool palette is still available and your drawings are also available. So that means if you want receptacle, you can click and insert in your drawing like this. So it's pretty easy, right? So all your objects which you have created, you can add upon to your tools palette like this. Now suppose if you want line, you can click on the line, insert the line like this. See, the line has been inserted. The most interesting part is that the layer will be also inserted according to your objects. Suppose if you want circle, you can select the circle, and the circle is created with the same layer as we have designed previously. So that's the end of this session, and we hope you understood well. Keep posting your queries and feedback, and for more videos, log on to www.tutomesh.com. Thank you.